Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, how have I not yet done a full review of Darkwood Tarot? Thank you to the viewer who reminded me that I haven't yet. Oh my gosh, I love this deck so much. As you guys know, it's in my all-time top 5, and so we're gonna break it down today. Before we start, I just want to take a moment and thank the Patreon subscribers who have really made a difference in the channel over the last few years. And their donations have generously really enabled the channel to keep going. And so I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to them. I realize that I don't think I've done that publicly yet on the channel. And I do apologize that it's taken this long, but all of you have made a huge difference in the ability to purchase equipment to keep videos going on the channel, as well as decks and things like that for us to be able to talk about and to share stories about on the channel. So I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to the Patreon contributors who keep this channel going. You guys make a really big difference for all of us here in this small community, and we're very, very grateful to you. Okay, so that being said, before we get into this, I am recording this on Thursday at the end of February. Just a few little things. It's freezing cold here again, and we're going to get like over a foot of snow tomorrow, so I'm not super excited for that. And I also wanted to say to my overseas viewers, excuse me, I've heard the news about Russia and Ukraine this morning, and my thoughts and prayers are with all of you. And yeah, we feel the magnitude of this, even though we are not physically having to experience it. So please know that my thoughts and prayers are with you. And it's difficult to know what to say, but it is definitely a sobering time on our planet, isn't it? So please know I am sending you love. Again, thoughts and prayers. Of course, when I say prayers, you know, I'm praying to many gods, not one, but all of us in all of our various ways of worshiping and connecting with our spiritual paths, I am sure are sending you all love, thoughts, and prayers. So that being said, we're going to talk about the Darkwood Tarot today. So the Darkwood Tarot is by Sasha Graham with art by Abigail Larson. And as you know, if you watched my top 5 tarot videos of all time, this made the list. I freaking love this deck. And it's everything about this deck just touches my witchy heart. All the parts of me that feel such a sense of connection to nature as deity and worshiping the land, honoring the land, and exploring what it means as someone who is connected to the sacred feminine to really embody the sacred feminine and to walk a path that is very magically aligned with the intuitive energy of the sacred feminine. This deck, like 1,000% across the board, ticks all those boxes. So if you are someone who identifies as pagan or as a witch, I think you will really get a lot out of this deck and feel very connected to it. Now, that being said, if you are new to tarot, you can also work with this deck relatively easily because it does follow Rider-Waite-Smith's symbolism pretty true to form. I don't know where all that came from. Pretty true to form. There are a few divergences from that, and in the guidebook, Sasha Graham does really clarify that for you. And this is also a really great guidebook if you are new to tarot as well, or if you're a seasoned reader. I enjoy checking in with this guidebook and just getting a new, fresh viewpoint on card meanings and journaling, jumping off points as well. So that being said, I digress. I'm getting totally like sidetracked here. Let's go back here. So the description on the back of the box says, entering the wood is easy. Leaving is a different matter. How will you emerge? Dare to enter the dark wood and discover your shadow self with this enthralling Rider-Waite-Smith style deck. As you take on the role of a witch traversing the wood, each magnificent card becomes a vision of deep wisdom that guides you to a richer understanding of yourself. Examine secret desires and shadowy dreams. Explore the unknown recesses of your psyche. This captivating deck and full color companion book leads you through the darkness and into the light that reflects your hidden talents and personal power. It has a 304-page full color guidebook and of course 78 card deck. So there's no additional cards in this deck. I feel like I paid, or no, wait, someone gifted this to me. I apologize. So I did not pay. I know who sent this to me. Thank you so much, my dear. But I feel like the Amazon pricing is somewhere between like $28 and $35. So, you know, it's not the cheapest deck out there, but it's definitely worth the investment, guys. I'm not going to lie to you about that. So let's talk about what you experience when you get the box. This is definitely a box that you're going to want to keep, even though it's a Llewellyn deck. Yeah, this says $31.99 US dollars. So, and then when you open it, it has this beautiful depiction of the Ace of Pentacles, and you can put your cards in here, and the guidebook goes on top of that. And then this is what the guidebook looks like. It's that really shiny paper. It's that really like shiny paper every page, but there is full reproduction, which is really beautiful, even of the minors. So it is a little difficult to take notes in. I like to take notes in my guidebooks, and just because the ink takes a little bit to dry on this paper, as you can see, I've had some smudging happen here. But the guide, like I said, the guidebook is wonderful. Look at the Two of Cups depiction there. Lots of meat, lots of wisdom, some fresh perspectives, but very Rider-Waite-Smith true. So I feel that the guidebook is absolutely worth at least one read, and it's worth returning to time and again as you move through life, sharing the journey with the Darkwood Tarot. I believe I said in the top 5 video that this deck kind of reminds me in Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, like that world, that there was like a world at the beginning of the game that you would go into, and this really reminds me of that world. It feels so, you really do feel like you're in an enchanted wood. So if you're someone who loves that type of mythology, loves that feeling, loves that type of artwork, you're really gonna enjoy working with this deck. So here is the backing. Now I have edged my deck in black using a black Sharpie. So you're not gonna have black edged cards when you first get this deck. I just wanna prepare you for that in case you're like, Racine, my deck didn't have that. It's because I spent some time in front of the TV edging the deck one night. But I like it with the black, and I do feel that we're entering a dark wood. Like, it's not, I like the black with this beautiful kind of muted olive tone here. I like the way they play together, and I feel like it matches the theme. So this is the backing, which I really love. The cards are slippery, typical Llewellyn cardstock quality, in my opinion, not the best. And the card size is very similar to Rider-Waite-Smith traditional OG deck, that type of card size. So, I have larger hands and I have no problem working with this deck. I think if you had smaller hands, it might be close to being a problem, but I still think you'd be able to make it work. So I will show you some of the imagery while I talk about working with this deck. I love this deck so much, guys. That's why I'm like, I can't believe I hadn't done a review yet. I really, really love this deck. It's very easy to find your personal story within the myth of the witch that's explored here. And also there are characters that you will find repeated through the imagery that really helps to create a harmonious whole and to create understanding around, what the card is, what the card or the cards, if you're doing a spread, is teaching you, is sharing with you. And I think you really do end up feeling like you are the witch in this deck, or if you're reading for someone else, that they are. And there's all these little side paths you can wander off of and explore, different aspects of yourself, different aspects of the cards. It's such a unique, beautiful deck. And I love that it's not overly, there's not too much going on in the artwork, but there's enough that you know where you are. You know that you're in a story in the woods. You know that you're exploring some major myths, and that you're connecting to the energy of the magical aspect of the sacred feminine. this is a beautiful deck across the board. You know, you can use it for relationship readings, you can use it for shadow work, you can use it for trying to understand more about your career, trying to understand your path, trying to understand who you are as an individual. This is a deck that's it's a multitasker. It has a beautiful voice. It's able to really have a conversation with you, but also be really truthful with you. So it's not going to cover over what's underneath something that you don't want to deal with or acknowledge. It's going to absolutely take you there, but it does it in a way that's not as in your face as other decks. And I love this depiction of the Five of Pentacles. I feel like it's such an accurate depiction of the energy of the Five of Pentacles in general. And you still get that feel of being an outcast, even though we're not looking at a church or a symbol of the community, right? We're looking at a tree. And this depiction of Eight of Swords. I love this depiction of Eight of Swords. This is one that like I tend to see in my head, even when I'm not working with this deck. That depiction of the Eight of Swords is so beautiful. Here, Queen of Pentacles, like I think she nailed this Queen of Pentacles. I love this artist's artwork, by the way. This is Abigail Larson. I'm just double checking myself. I don't say her name wrong. I love her artwork, but I think she freaking nailed that Queen of Pentacles. As the Queen of Pentacles, I feel I can say that. Here's the depiction of the Lovers. And I found this depiction of the Judgment card really, really interesting. It's one that I've come back to and sat with a lot. There's a lot within that. This Five of Wands, it has to be like the cutest stinking Five of Wands I've ever seen. I love this Five of Wands so much. Blah, blah. Wow, words are tough today, Racine. This depiction of the Four of Pentacles really helped me to go into a deeper understanding of this card. Four of Pentacles in general is a card that, like, as a reader, I definitely struggled with for a long time when I first started reading. And so far as like getting underneath just the surface description and meaning, like I always felt like there was something I was missing with that card. You know that feeling when you're like, ah, man, I'm missing something here. Like I'm not getting the whole picture. This was one of those cards for me, and the guidebook and this image really helped something like snap into place for me and take it to more of a heart chakra vulnerability space. I mean, just even look at the depiction of it. I don't know, for some reason it just really, I really got it with this image. So I'm like forever grateful to this deck for that. Oh, you guys know I love Nine of Pentacles, and like Three of Swords, Nine of Pentacles always inform, like they always let me know if I'm gonna love a deck or not. And I freaking love this image of the Nine of Pentacles, this depiction of the Nine of Pentacles, excuse me. It's so freaking beautiful. Like I can't. I love it. I'm just absolutely in love with it. Interesting depiction of the Chariot, but very effective. Let me just see. Yeah. Three of Swords. Love it. Love it. Knew I was going to love the deck as soon as I saw that. And this depiction of the Two of Cups, it's so beautiful. It's so soft. It makes my heart feel soft when I look at it. And I love that maybe they're lovers, but maybe they're also soulmates that are friends, right? This really opens up that the Two of Cups doesn't have to be a lover. It absolutely can be, but it doesn't have to be. It can also be a friend or a pet or a familiar or a spirit guide that we have this really deep heart connection with. And I just feel like you really get that feeling from looking at this image. I love that one. Let me see if there was one other. Oh, this Seven of Pentacles, I love. I love the tones, the ochres, the muted oranges, those deep reds, like those Merlots and those berry reds. It just does it for me. Oh, I love this Ace of Cups. This depiction of the Two of Wands is like maybe one of my favorite depictions of the Two of Wands ever. I feel like she's such a freaking badass and I just want to be her, right? Like I love this depiction. And then of course, Five of Swords here. This is a really powerful image. And it's one that when I do readings for others, when I'm reading for clients, I really like to unpack like, okay, who stabbed you in the back here? Because it's such a clear depiction of what that is. Death card is absolutely beautiful. And then Oh, here we go. If you haven't read the guidebook description of this Nine of Cups, I really encourage you to. It presents a fascinating shadow aspect to this card that I think really, if you're someone who's been reading for a while and you continue to be like, oh, Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, right? This guidebook really gets into some meat with this Nine of Cups. That's really great for self-reflection and journaling. But I could discuss every card image in this deck with you all. That's how much I love this deck. It's so powerful in readings, whether you're reading for yourself or for somebody else. And it's really powerful in regards to spiritual journeying, and it dovetails into shadow work nicely while not exclusively being a shadow work deck like the Chicoli Tarot for me. So this is one that, you know, it's a multitasker. You can take it with you and it's going to be able to, in your travels, and it's going to be able to like handle whatever comes. And like I said, it's a very true sister and friend. It's very magically, it has a very magical feel to it. And by that, I don't mean, oh, it's magical. I mean, consciously connecting with ritual and magical. And it's very much sacred feminine aligned. So if you're looking for a deck like that, Darkwood Tarot is absolutely going to give you that. It's 5 out of 5 stars for me. I freaking love this deck. I don't have any downside to this deck, other than I wish it wasn't so slippery, and I don't like the cardstock, but I feel that way about most decks, let's get real. So this one is a keeper for me. It's in my top 5 of all time. I love this deck. I highly recommend it if you're considering purchasing it. As always, I am sending you much love and many blessings, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.